You won't believe what Primark employees are secretly begging you not to buy. You've walked into their brightly lit stores countless times, grabbed a few trendy pieces from the racks, and thought nothing of it. After all, it's cheap, right? But what if I told you that some of the items in Primark, the ones that look like a steal, are actually a nightmare in disguise? Behind those cheerful smiles at the cash register, there's an ugly truth that Primark employees are dying to share with you. From toxic materials to poor quality to items that are downright dangerous, these workers know what's really happening on the shop floor, and there's a list of 10 items they desperately hope you'll stay away from. Some of these items might seem like the perfect bargain. You're thinking, what harm could a $5 pair of jeans possibly do? But trust me, by the time we reach the end of this countdown, you'll be looking at that shopping bag in a whole new light. This isn't just a list of meh products that you can live without. Oh no, these are the items that are actively harming you, your wardrobe, and the planet. And the worst part? They're cheap for a reason. So stick around, because by the time we hit number 1, you'll be shocked, and you might just rethink your next Primark trip. Let's dive into the 10 items Primark employees beg you not to buy, starting with number 10. Number 10. Cheap denim jeans. You know that feeling when you spot a pair of affordable denim jeans in Primark? They're sleek, they're stylish, and the price tag is practically begging you to add them to your cart. It seems like a no-brainer. After all, jeans are a wardrobe staple, and who doesn't love a bargain? But here's the twist. Those cheap denim jeans you just grabbed might be more trouble than they're worth. Primark jeans might look amazing when you first pick them off the shelf, but trust me, the minute you try them on, you might already be feeling some discomfort. And we're not talking about the fit. We're talking about the quality. Primark denim, despite its outward appearance, often falls victim to poor stitching and inferior fabric that just can't handle real-life wear. You're probably thinking, it's denim, it's sturdy, right? But you'd be surprised how quickly cheap denim loses its shape. Take them home, wear them for a week, and soon enough, you'll notice them stretching out after just 1 day of use. The waistband will lose its elasticity. The fabric will start to fade. And before you know it, the color you loved so much will begin to look washed out. You'll even notice the seams starting to unravel after a few washes. It's not just the fit that suffers, it's the overall wearability of the jeans. Employees at Primark know exactly what happens behind the scenes. They watch customers eagerly snatch up pairs of jeans, only for them to come back frustrated later because the jeans fall apart faster than expected. Cheap denim doesn't age well. While you may save a few bucks up front, you're getting an item that's far from durable. When you buy cheap jeans from Primark, you're essentially paying for a temporary solution that won't last long enough to justify the bargain. So next time you're eyeing that $10 pair of jeans, just remember, it might not be the deal you think it is. You're not just investing in fabric, you're investing in a fast fashion trap. And when it comes to denim, quality is everything. Don't settle for cheap if you're looking for something that's going to last. If cheap denim jeans aren't quite the wardrobe staple you were hoping for, you might think that cute accessories could be a safer bet. But before you go grabbing that sparkly necklace or those shiny earrings, let's talk about why Primark's jewelry section might be more of a skin disaster than a fashion statement. Number 9. Cheap jewelry. Costume jewelry. You've seen them, those sparkling necklaces, shiny earrings, and blingy bracelets that catch your eye as you stroll through Primark. At first glance, they seem like the perfect accessory to add a bit of glam to your outfit. But don't be fooled by the price tag, because what seems like a great deal can turn into a skin irritation nightmare, or worse. Primark's cheap jewelry is a total trap. While the price is low, the quality is shockingly bad. You might buy a necklace or a pair of earrings that seem like a steal, but within just a few days, you'll notice something's off. The glitter starts to fade, the stones begin to fall out, and worst of all, the jewelry begins to tarnish, leaving behind a green mark on your skin. That's not just the jewelry breaking down, it's toxic chemicals leaching from cheap metals like lead, nickel, and cadmium. Now, let's talk about those chemicals. Lead and nickel aren't just harmful to your skin. They've been linked to allergic reactions, hormonal imbalances, and even serious health risks if worn frequently. You might be thinking, it's just a cute necklace. But the truth is, wearing cheap costume jewelry regularly can put your health at risk. And it gets worse. These pieces are designed to be disposable. Primark's jewelry isn't built to last. So not only are you putting your skin at risk, but you're also watching the jewelry fall apart after only a couple of uses. What seemed like a cheap accessory now feels like a waste of money. Primark employees hear it all the time. People coming back to complain that the jewelry didn't last more than a few wears. So, the next time you're thinking about picking up that cute pair of earrings for a night out, ask yourself, is it really worth the potential health risks and the disappointment when they start falling apart in no time? Now, if cheap jewelry has you second-guessing your next accessory, wait until you hear about what's next on the list. An item you might think is harmless, but it's actually a hidden health hazard in your kitchen. Number 8. Cheap plastic homeware. Plates, cups, cutlery. Next up, we're talking about cheap plastic homeware. You know the kind. Colorful plates, cute cups, and matching cutlery that look so perfect for casual meals and family gatherings. It's hard to resist, right? They're affordable, bright, and make your kitchen look fun and modern. But here's the kicker. That plastic dinnerware you're buying is doing far more harm than good. Primark's plastic homeware might look adorable, but it's not made from quality materials. The problem? Cheap plastic often contains BPA, short for bisphenol A, phthalates, and other toxic chemicals that have been linked to a wide range of health problems, from hormone disruption to increased cancer risk. It's not just about how cute that plate looks, it's about what's going into your food when you eat off of it. The chemicals leach into your food, especially when you microwave it or put hot food on the plastic. So while you're enjoying your pizza on that cute Primark plate, you're unknowingly exposing yourself to toxic substances. But it gets worse. These plastic items are not durable. Sure, they look shiny and fresh when you first get them, but within a few weeks, you'll notice the plastic starts to warp, scratch, and stain. What was once a cheap and cheerful addition to your kitchen turns into a disposable mess. It doesn't take long for these items to start breaking down and losing their shine, and you'll find yourself throwing them away much sooner than you'd like. The worst part? These plastics aren't just bad for your health, they're also bad for the environment. When you throw these items out, they contribute to the mountain of plastic waste that's already choking our planet. Primark employees have seen it all. People rushing to grab these plastic plates and cups, thinking they're saving money, only to realize that in the end, they've bought something that's not worth it. They're not built to last, and the chemicals they contain could be doing more harm than you know. So, before you go for that cute, colorful plate set, think about whether it's worth the potential health risks, the plastic waste, and the short lifespan of the product. If you want something that lasts longer, maybe consider investing in something safer for both your health and the planet. Number 7. Low-quality shoes. We've all been there. You're at Primark, eyeing a stylish pair of shoes that look like they should cost a lot more than the price tag suggests. The design is great, the color is perfect, and they seem like a total steal. But here's the harsh reality about cheap shoes from Primark. They might look fantastic at first, but they're not built to last. In fact, they're more likely to fall apart after just a few wears than to actually stand the test of time. Let's talk about the material. While those shoes might look great on the shelf, they're often made from synthetic leather or low-quality faux materials that start showing signs of wear much quicker than you'd expect. That fresh out of the box look starts to fade, and suddenly those stylish shoes are starting to peel, crack, or lose their shape. The worst part? The soles are almost always thin and non-durable, meaning you'll feel every step. And you might even find yourself with sore feet after just a few hours of walking. Primark employees see it every day. People rush to pick up trendy shoes at a bargain price, only to come back disappointed a few weeks later. The shoes they thought were an amazing deal fall apart, and they realize they didn't get their money's worth. It's not just about aesthetics. Quality materials and construction matter, especially when it comes to something as important as shoes. Cheap shoes might seem like a temporary solution, but they end up costing you in the long run, not just in money, but in comfort and longevity. Now, if cheap shoes have you second-guessing your Primark purchases, the next item on our list might make you want to take another look at what's really in your wardrobe. Handbags. They look amazing at first, but you might be walking out of the store with a bag that's not even worth the low price. Number 6. Cheap handbags. You're walking through Primark, and there it is, the perfect handbag. The color, the size, and the shape are everything you've been looking for. You're about to snag it for a price that almost feels like stealing. But hold on a minute. Let's take a closer look at what's going on with that bargain bag. Primark's cheap handbags often fall into the category of looks too good to be true. Sure, it's a cute bag for the price, but after a few days of use, you might start noticing that it loses its shape. The material feels flimsy and starts to wear down. The stitching might unravel, and before you know it, you're left with a bag that looks like it came from a cheap knockoff store instead of one that was supposed to be a bargain. Primark's handbags often use synthetic materials, which while they look great at first, don't stand up well to the rigors of daily life. These bags don't age well and can begin to peel, crack, or fall apart in just a few weeks. The hardware, like zippers and buckles, is often subpar as well, breaking easily or losing its shine after minimal use. You might think you've saved a ton of money, but when you have to replace that bag after a month of use, you'll realize that the deal wasn't as great as it seemed. What's worse is that Primark employees have seen this all too often. Customers flock to the bags, and many are disappointed when they realize that what looked like a stylish accessory is actually just another temporary piece that didn't live up to expectations. Primark bags are designed to look good in the store, but their short lifespan means they're more of a fashion gamble than a wardrobe investment. So, the next time you're eyeing that bag, take a moment to think. Is it really worth investing in a bag that's destined to fall apart after a few weeks? If you want something that's going to last, maybe it's time to put down that bargain and find a higher quality option. But don't go anywhere just yet, because the next item on this list might be something you never expected to be on the list at all. Number 5, overly trendy t-shirts. We've all seen them, those graphic tees with bold slogans, flashy designs, and cheeky sayings. They're sitting there, practically begging you to grab them, right? You think, it's only a few bucks, how can I say no? Well, here's the thing. Cheap, graphic t-shirts from Primark are often more of a fashion trap than a smart buy. At first glance, they seem like the perfect addition to your wardrobe, easy to throw on for a casual look. But soon after you wear them, you'll realize these shirts are more trouble than they're worth. The print starts to fade after just a couple of washes, leaving you with a shirt that looks more like it's been through the clothes dryer than your laundry. The fabric begins to feel like it's barely hanging on, and before you know it, that perfect fit you loved on day one has stretched out so much you could use it as a sleeping bag. Primark employees know exactly what happens with these cheap t-shirts. They see it time and time again. People grab them impulsively, wear them once or twice, and then toss them aside because they've already started to lose their shape and vibrancy. These tees are built for fast fashion, and after just a handful of wears, they'll lose that fresh look, leaving you with a shirt that screams temporary style rather than long-lasting fashion. But here's the real kicker. These shirts aren't just poor quality. They're also made using processes that harm the environment. The dyes used in these shirts can be highly toxic, and the low-quality fabrics often mean they're impossible to recycle. So not only are you wasting money on something that won't last, but you're also contributing to the waste problem that's killing our planet. So before you throw that cool tee into your basket, think about whether it's really worth it in the long run. If you want sustainable fashion that actually stands the test of time, there's a better way to spend your money, but more on that later. Now, speaking of something else that's often too good to be true, let's talk about the next item on our list, something that promises great value, but underdelivers in the worst way. Number 4, inexpensive outerwear. It's getting chilly outside, and what better way to stay warm than to grab that affordable jacket from Primark? After all, it looks stylish, the price is too good to resist, and it'll match with everything in your wardrobe. But here's the thing, if you think that cheap outerwear is going to hold up when the temperature drops, think again. The inexpensive coats and jackets at Primark might look trendy at first, but as soon as you put them to the test, you'll realize they don't quite measure up. First of all, the insulation is minimal, meaning you're not actually getting any warmth from that jacket. It's more of a fashion accessory than an actual winter coat. You'll find that the lining wears out quickly, leaving you with zero protection from the cold. And let's not forget the fabric. These jackets often come in cheap polyester blends, which don't breathe or wick away moisture, leaving you sweating inside and freezing the minute you step outside. The worst part? The stitching. If you wear this jacket more than a handful of times, the seams will start to fray, and those buttons? Don't be surprised if they pop off after a couple of wears. Primark employees have seen this over and over again. People rush to buy a cute, budget-friendly jacket, only to realize it's not built for anything beyond a few Instagram photos. And while you're standing out in the cold trying to stay warm, you'll notice that the jacket isn't doing its job. So ask yourself, is it really worth buying that $15 coat when you know you'll be replacing it after a season? For something that's supposed to keep you warm, this jacket isn't doing its job, and it'll cost you more in the long run when you have to buy a new one. So next time you think about grabbing that deal on a jacket, think about the true cost, not just in money, but in warmth and comfort. And with winter coming up, maybe it's time to invest in something that actually works. But don't go anywhere just yet, because the next item on our list will make you want to think twice about something you probably already own. Number 3, cheap sunglasses. You walk into Primark, and there they are, sitting in a neat row, cheap sunglasses in every shape, color, and style imaginable. They're bright, they're fun, and they scream summer vibes for only a few bucks. But before you snap them up for that beach day, there's one crucial question you need to ask. Do you really want to risk your eyes for the sake of a few dollars? Here's the thing. Cheap sunglasses might look cute in the store, but they come with a hefty price that you can't see. And I'm not talking about the money you paid. The lenses in these bargain shades are usually made from low-quality plastic, don't provide real UV protection. So while you might think you're shielding your eyes from the sun, you could actually be doing more damage by wearing them. Poor quality lenses can warp the light, leading to eye strain and discomfort. Worse, they won't protect you from harmful UV rays that can cause cataracts, macular degeneration, and even skin cancer around your eyes. Primark employees know all about the cheap sunglasses dilemma. They see it daily. Customers grab them, wear them for a few days, and then end up with sore eyes or frustrated with how quickly the lenses scratch or the frames bend. And let's not even mention how cheaply made the frames can be. Plastic frames break under pressure, and those metal frames can rust after a few months of wear. So while those sunglasses might look great when you're snapping selfies, they're actually doing a disservice to your eyes. Instead of wasting your money on sunglasses that won't protect you and won't last, it's worth investing in something that's actually built for the long haul. After all, your eyesight is a little more important than looking cute in a pair of cheap shades, right? And speaking of items that look good but have serious downsides, let's talk about something that seems harmless, but could be the biggest fashion mistake you make this season. If you think cheap sunglasses are bad, just wait until you hear about the next item on our list. Number 2, flimsy yoga pants. Yoga pants. We all love a comfy pair for those lazy days or light workouts. And Primark's prices? Let's face it, they're tempting. But before you grab those leggings in every color of the rainbow, there's something you should know. Flimsy yoga pants are more than just uncomfortable. They're a total health hazard in disguise. Let's break it down. The problem with Primark's yoga pants isn't just the fit. Sure, they might seem like a great buy when you first put them on, but within hours, you'll start noticing the fabric losing its shape. Those leggings that were once snug around your waist and hips, they start to sag, leaving you pulling them up every few minutes. And the stretching fabric? It doesn't just lose its elasticity, it starts to become see-through. That's right. You're exposing way more than you intended when you bend over or squat. The worst part is, these leggings don't hold up over time. The more you wear them, the more likely they are to get holes or rips, especially in those high-stress areas like the knees and waistband. Primark employees hear the complaints about these leggings all the time. Customers are disappointed when their $10 yoga pants lose their form after just a few weeks. Or worse, when they realize they've been walking around in see-through pants because the fabric is so thin. Sure, they look great on the shelf, and at first they might feel comfortable, but they don't stand up to real wear, and certainly not the way higher-end leggings do. But the biggest problem with these cheap yoga pants is that they're often made from synthetic fibers that can't breathe, leading to sweat buildup and irritation. This isn't just uncomfortable, it can lead to skin issues, especially if you're wearing them during a workout or for long periods. So, instead of throwing away money on something that doesn't last, maybe it's time to consider investing in a pair of yoga pants that are actually built to last, comfortable and breathable. If you thought the leggings were bad, the next item on our list is an absolute game changer. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. It might make you rethink your entire shopping strategy at Primark. Number 1, cheap bedding. You know that feeling when you walk through Primark and see those cute, cheap bedding sets? The designs are adorable, the price is almost too good to resist, and you think, why not refresh my bed with something new? It's an instant impulse buy, right? But here's the thing, cheap bedding isn't just uncomfortable. It's a total game changer when it comes to your health. When you think about it, you're spending a third of your life in bed. So, doesn't it make sense that you'd want to invest in something that's not only comfortable, but safe for your skin? Primark's cheap bedding is often made from low-quality synthetic fabrics, like polyester, that might look good at first, but are a nightmare in the long run. These fabrics are not breathable, which means you'll wake up sweating in the middle of the night. They trap heat and moisture, making your skin irritated. And over time, that constant friction can lead to breakouts or skin sensitivity. But that's not the worst part. The dyeing process for these cheap sheets often uses harsh chemicals that can irritate your skin and even cause allergic reactions. Have you ever wondered why your skin feels extra dry or itchy after sleeping in those cute new sheets? That's because those cheap dyes can strip moisture from your skin, leaving you with redness or discomfort. And as if that weren't enough, cheap bedding wears out super quickly. The threads break, the colors fade, and before you know it, those vibrant sheets you loved are rough, scratchy, and falling apart after just a few washes. Primark employees know this all too well. They've heard complaints from customers who thought they were getting a steal, only to end up with bedding that's uncomfortable, irritating, and falls apart too soon. But the biggest issue with cheap bedding isn't just the lack of comfort, it's the long-term effects on your health and sleep quality. So, before you toss that bedding set in your cart, think about the impact it'll have on your skin, your comfort, and even your overall well-being. This isn't just a case of buying a cheap sheet set and getting what you pay for. It's about investing in your health and comfort, especially when it comes to something as important as your sleep. And now that you've seen the reality behind cheap bedding, you might want to think twice before making that next Primark purchase. So there you have it, 10 items you should seriously think twice about buying at Primark. What might seem like an amazing deal could turn out to be a regret waiting to happen. From cheap shoes that fall apart in days, to leggings that become see-through after one wash, to bedding that compromises your health, Primark's low prices don't always equal good value. The truth is, Primark offers some great products, but it's crucial to know when to stop and think before you throw something in your basket. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever bought any of these items at Primark? Or do you have your own Primark horror story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation going. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss another warning before you shop. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up next. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.